Hi everyone, my name is Lena Thompson, and today I'm speaking to Helen, who is practically my neighbor as we both live in Surrey. And on this gloomy Saturday morning, Helen, who actually helps people who have chronic illnesses to bring zest to to their lives rather, and to my life, I'm sure, by looking at new possibilities, has decided to talk to me and just share some of her experiences over the last 2 years, and also tell us more about how she helps them and about her programs that she offers. So Helen, welcome. It's great to talk to you today.
Thank you, Lena. Lovely to see you.
Thank you very much. Can you just please begin by introducing yourself and tell us more about what you do and how you help people?
Yes, of course. My name's Helen Grantham and I'm a qualified coach, and my niche is helping people with chronic illness. And by that, I mean that I try to move people from being stuck to looking forward to a positive future. Because I've found in the past that there are a lot of people that have chronic illness that they don't get so much support once they leave the hospital or the clinic, and they need that support to help their mental wellness, because they're getting the physical aspect of support but they're not getting the mental wellness support. So that's what I do, and we look at actually accepting what's happened to them. Then that's the first stage, and then we go forward to looking at their new future, which can be actually really exciting.
Yeah, and that's so true, isn't it? Because until we kind of sort out our inner world, our outer world is not really going to change, or it's going to be very, very slow progress, very slow and painful change. So, and like you said, when people get released from hospitals or wherever they were, and they go back into the home, into their known familiar environment, they slip into this unconscious habits, which they had even maybe before they were diagnosed or they had that illness or condition. So it's really important to maintain that level of energy, I guess, of vibration, staying in the certain mindset in order to truly heal yourself properly.
Absolutely. And a lot of people put up mental barriers, and I try to help those people break them down. And once you've broken them down, a lot of them have light bulb moments where they think, wow, I've got the world in my hands now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And how do you actually help them to break it down? Do you use hypnotherapy or meditation, or how do you do that?
I look at changing the mindset. So like I said, we start with accepting what's happened to them, and that might actually involve confronting their illness as well, which is quite a painful process, because a lot of people will stick their head in the sand and they won't want to go into that and say, right, this has happened to me, and actually it was quite scary, and it still is. And I found that once we broke those barriers down, that actually we can start to open doors to new possibilities. So it's a very much a personalized and individual process that I do, because some people need to stay in the acceptance phase for quite a long time, and then they're able to move on. Whereas some people have accepted what's happened to them, but just don't know where to go next.
Yeah. And, I'm just always curious, because obviously when you work with the clients, you do all this exercises, they may have like this big release, and, the barriers are lifted. So they get so much, benefit from it. But then they say they don't see you for that week. So how do they stop from slipping back into they kind of the normal reality, their norm? Do you give them homework to do, some exercises, or how does it work?
I do support my clients in between the sessions. Okay. So they always know that they can message me or just give me a call. And if they're having a wobble, I can talk them through that, because I know what that's like. I've got a chronic illness myself, and I never had the help that I'm giving other people. So I know that it is crucial to actually have that lifeline if you need it. And quite often, if people know that there is someone there to reach out to, they don't need it, but it's just there, and it's the kind of security blanket. So that's what I do. I do support people in between their sessions if they need it, and they can always reach out to me.
That's brilliant. And do you specialize in a certain type of chronic illness?
I don't. No, I don't distinguish between them. I found that the process of actually going through and getting out of the other side was very similar when I talk to people with various chronic illnesses. So at the moment, I have clients with fibromyalgia, arthritis, chronic arthritis. I'm a blood clots disorder sufferer myself. So I have a wide range of clients.
Okay. And what actually made you, decide to do that? Because you've got quite a different background, don't you?
I do, yes. I was in the corporate world for a long time, and something didn't sit right with me being in the corporate world all the time and being office based and that sort of thing. So I studied for quite a while. I went to night school. And then I decided, right, I'm going to jump out of the corporate world and I'm going to go for it. And that's when I trained to be a coach. Yeah. So it was a big leap, but I don't regret it.
I know, there's so many people I speak to nowadays that make that leap more and more often, because if you don't, before you know, you wake up one day, you've retired, you're living in a pension, and you're like, what did I do with my life? And I know it's a big leap of faith you need to have. I mean, I can relate to that completely. Just 2 years, not even 2 years, a year and a few months ago, I was commuting to London. I was in a job while I was contracting. And I remember that last time when I walked out of the office, that freedom, I felt was like overwhelming. And I mean, I knew it's going to be sometimes a rough journey, right? I mean, it goes up and down. As a business owner, you know what it's like, but there wasn't a doubt. There's not even a doubt that, that was the right step. Is that how you feel? Do you feel like you made a right decision? Because I'm sure
Definitely.
A lot of people can relate to it.
Yes. And one of my things actually is that I don't like regretting things. And so that's what made me leap and say, right, I'm gonna do this because I want to, because I don't want to be sitting there when I'm in my 70s thinking, I wish I would have done that.
Totally.
So, and that's the kind of thing that I do with my clients as well. I say to them, if you don't do this, how will you feel when you're older? And, that helps them realize what they want to do and what they need to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's life, right? And life is about balancing our physical, our mental, our spiritual, our emotional bodies all together. You can't just have, one thing but not the other, because you're always going to feel it out of balance. You're always going to live in that lack and wishing for more, and often not even knowing, what it is that you wish for. So just paying attention to this cravings again, to this little signs, to this little possibilities and synchronicities in your life, and just sometimes like just making that big decision to follow your gut. But it does take guts to follow your guts. So I know what it's like. So, in this current situation with COVID and this lockdown 1, lockdown 2, how do you think people who have chronic illness, how do you think their mental health has been affected?
That's a very good question, actually. It has been quite difficult for people with chronic illness because there's so much anxiety. I'll give you the example of my blood disorder. So I have a blood clotting disorder, and people who have similar disorders have been very, very scared of the COVID situation because of the blood clotting implications of having COVID. So a lot of chronic illness, people with chronic illness are frightened because there's an extra layer now of anxiety that they have. And lots of questions. So that's what I've been doing. I've been talking to people on a sort of pro bono basis to say, okay, how do you feel about your illness now? And the action of actually talking about their fear is very helpful. And I've done it myself as well. So I talked to a charity that I deal with, and yes, they put out a podcast which was extremely helpful. So I think, again, it's getting this out and talking about it and finding more information as well to just stop that anxiety and help relieve it a little bit.
Okay. And when you do the coaching, is it always one-on-one session, or how does your coaching work?
I do one-on-one, yes. The main reason is that every journey is individual. So in my opinion, how I coach, it won't work in a group situation. So I prefer to work one-on-one.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. As you said, everybody's individual, they've got their own challenges and issues. So I guess they get much more benefit from working one-on-one with you. And where can people find you? So if somebody, wants to book a session, and do you offer like a free consultation?
I do, yes. People can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook as Helen Grantham. And I have my own website, which is positivehealthcoaching.co.uk.
Okay, that's brilliant. Well, thank you, Helen. Thank you very much. And thank you for everybody who's listening to us. If you want to get in touch with Helen, either for yourself or somebody you know, then I will share all her details in the comments below. And yeah, just reach out with any question. I'm sure she would love to help you. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Lena. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.